welcome back to my channel and to another episode of Get Pregnant With Me, where today I'm going to be sharing with you books that I have read that have helped me in terms of understanding my polycystic ovaries, endometriosis, and to the present day when I'm trying to conceive. Let me go and shut that door. Yeah, there are 4 books that I'm going to share with you, and these are books that really helped me to understand my hormones, my period, ovulation, getting pregnant, helped me to diagnose myself with endometriosis and have the courage to go and seek medical help, going in there being confident that I know what I've got. And yeah, I thought that these might be a good read in case you discovered my channel because maybe you've just been diagnosed with something, or maybe like me, you are struggling with your fertility. And these are good starting blocks in terms of you trying to get a better understanding of your body and your hormones. And you can go into a gynecology office or a doctor's office and feel like you're a little bit more equipped and have a better understanding of what's going on inside here. So the first book that I am going to start with is Period Power by Maisie Hill. And when I first came off contraception, this is the very first book that I read in order to understand my cycle, because my cycle had gone MIA. And this book goes through every stage of your cycle in great detail so that you understand the changes that your body goes through each stage of your cycle. And then as you go through that, there's a chapter which is called Changes, and it talks about things like excess estrogen, low progesterone, like fertility issues, gut issues, and you could begin to piece together maybe some of the symptoms that you had and match it to the information in the book. So I remember things like talking about endometriosis and some of the symptoms of endometriosis, and at this time I hadn't been diagnosed. It also talked about adenomyosis, and I remember reading this book and thinking, there's something wrong with my cycle. I'm not going through all stages of my cycle is absent. Understanding that this means that I wasn't ovulating, and also could resonate with some of the information to do with endometriosis as well. And this really did equip me then being able to go to my doctor and say, you know, I've got these symptoms and this is what I think it might be. And this book really did start the journey of me trying to figure out what's going on with my hormones and on the track to trying for a baby. So if you are new to this and you're not quite sure what's going on with your body, but you know something's not quite right, this is a really good place to start. The next book that I then moved on to was Fix Your Period by Nicole Jardim, and she also has a podcast as well, which I will pop up here. So if you're not much of a reader, then her podcast is another good option. This is a 6-week guide in terms of understanding your hormones and trying to balance your hormones and essentially fix your period if you're somebody who has period issues. It is quite a in-depth book in terms of the research, the language. So there's stuff like fixing your gut to help fix your hormones, help your liver to do with stress, thyroid problems, and the idea is that you go through each week, you have a little sort of like homework part of that chapter that you need to work on, which will then help you by the end of the 6 weeks to get a better understanding of your hormones and try and fix them. But as I say, this is grounded in a lot of research, which is amazing. But if that's not the kind of book or research that you're accustomed to reading, it can be quite difficult to wrap your head around some of it. She really does go deep into the science and helping you to understand your hormones, which is amazing, but it's not a bedtime read. So I did learn a lot from this in terms of like decoding my period, understanding the hormones, how they have to balance to work, etc. And yeah, I got through the 6-week program and found it really helpful. But you'll see like the text is tiny and it's very sciencey, but it is a absolute wealth of knowledge in here, and I really do think that it's a good option. Again, if you think that there's something going on and you need to dig a little bit deeper, and you can try the 6-week guide and see whether it helps to balance your hormones. So I would say I would say Period Power is an easier read, but this is packed full of really useful information grounded in research. And yeah, as long as you can sort of get into it and, you know, stick with it, then literally it's like a wealth of knowledge. So by the time I read those books, I had been diagnosed with polycystic ovaries and endometriosis. So I kind of knew what I needed to do in terms of managing those, and I began my journey to wanting to get pregnant. So I picked up this book, which is Getting Pregnant with PCOS by Claire Goodwin. And this is literally, as the title suggests, it says it's an evidence-based approach to treat the root causes of polycystic ovary syndrome to help boost your fertility. And I still come back to this book like time and time again, because it literally tells you everything you need to know about polycystic ovaries, how it works, how your hormones balance, how that affects fertility, and also has really useful information on how you can find your root cause of your PCOS. So for me, it is insulin resistance and also stress, and how you can then reduce stress, reduce your insulin, and hopefully get you on the path to getting pregnant. So I honestly recommend this if you've got PCOS and you wanted to understand PCOS and also wanted to get pregnant. This is such a good book, and I always recommend it to people. I am reluctant to lend it to anybody because, as I say, I still come back to it. It's got really good information on tracking ovulation and how to do that. It is packed full of information for women with PCOS, and even for women who are just wanting to get pregnant and don't quite understand their hormones. A really good book. And last but not least, I did give you a sneak peek of this in my last video, which was a supplement video. It starts with an egg, and this is by Rebecca Fett. I hope I said this right. And it says how the science of egg quality can help you get pregnant naturally, prevent miscarriage, and improve your odds in IVF. And again, grounded in research. Everything that is in here is scientifically supported. It talks you through supplements to take in terms of, you know, improving your egg quality. It talks through what you should take if you've got polycystic ovaries, endometriosis, if you're going for IVF. It even talks about things like diet, which I thought was really good, and how you can improve your diet to help you get pregnant. The way it's broken down is really good, so you can just read the bits that are relevant to you. If you're reading this and you've not got PCOS, then you can go to the endometriosis bit. If you've not got endometriosis and you're going through IVF, you can go through that bit. So I do really like the way that this book is structured, and again, it's just got so much useful information in here, all on like the science of egg quality, choosing the right supplements, you know, the bigger picture in terms of thinking about male fertility, what it is that you put in your body in terms of food, but also environmental factors like plastic. It is a lot of information. Again, like, it's not a bedtime read, but I have implemented some of the supplements from this book, and it has honestly been one of the best purchases that I have bought in terms of me now looking forward in terms of trying to conceive and implementing some of the information in here. So yeah, if you can get your hands on this, I would go for the second edition, not the first. It is an excellent book in terms of getting pregnant. So yeah, they are the 4 books that I would recommend if you're somebody who has a hormone issue, or, you know, endometriosis, or is trying to get pregnant. They are the first 4 books that I've read, and I've clinged onto them. I go back to them, and yeah, I would definitely recommend you picking up and reading them. If you've got any book recommendations, then please leave them in the comments down below, because I love reading stuff like this. But otherwise, I'm going to love you and leave you. I will link all the books down below. Let me know if you read any of them. Don't forget to go and follow me over on Instagram, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.